For 12,000 years, the Venorian hegemony ruled the galaxy without question. They were tall, powerful beings with 4 arms and eyes black as space itself. They had conquered 37 species, turned billions into slaves, burned entire worlds to ash, and no one, not a single civilization, had ever told them no. Until a small, fragile species from a forgotten blue planet walked into their great hall. The humans had just discovered faster-than-light travel. They had barely left their own solar system. Their leader, Secretary General Elena Vasquez, stood before Ambassador Urene Vash, the hegemony's highest diplomat. Vash delivered the terms he had delivered to 37 species before. 60% of your population will be taken as workers for our empire. Your weapons will be surrendered. A hegemony governor will rule your world. This is not a negotiation. This is how things are. The other aliens in the hall watched with bored expressions. They had seen this scene dozens of times. The young species always looked terrified at first. Then they accepted their fate. But Elena Vasquez did not look terrified. She pulled out a single piece of paper and handed it to Vash. It was humanity's counteroffer. Complete freedom, equal standing, mutual respect, fair trade. Vash read it and started laughing, deep, mocking laughter that echoed through the hall. "You are nothing," he said. "Your species is barely 1,000 years old. You have no fleet, no weapons, and you dare ask for equality? Go home, human. You have 1 year to prepare 60% of your population for collection. If you resist, we will burn your cities from orbit. We will make examples of your children." Elena Vasquez picked up the paper calmly, folded it, and looked directly into Vash's black eyes. "I need you to listen very carefully," she said. The room went silent. "We are giving you this warning once, only once. Do not mistake our desire for peace as weakness. We have spent our entire history fighting. We know violence better than you could ever imagine. We are offering you friendship. Take this offer, because if you force us to fight, we will not stop until the hegemony is nothing but ash and memory. This is Earth's first and final warning. We do not wish for war, but we will not kneel." Vash laughed even harder. "Threats from insects. Go home and enjoy your last year of freedom." 3 years passed. The hegemony tried to intimidate Earth, blocking trade routes, spreading lies, delaying human ships, and humanity endured it all, filed complaints, followed every rule. The hegemony thought the humans were cowards. What they didn't know was that deep beyond Neptune, humanity was building in secret. Hidden shipyards inside asteroids, weapons factories on frozen moons, 400 warships unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Then the hegemony made their fatal mistake. A human colony called New Helsinki refused to surrender 70% of their harvest. They begged for mercy. War Admiral Torvex responded by burning the entire planet from orbit. 2.3 million people, farmers, teachers, children, turned to ash in 6 hours. The message reached Earth 3 days later. People watched the footage in silence. Then the silence turned to weeping. Then the weeping turned to something else entirely. Secretary General Vasquez stood before the cameras, her eyes red, but her voice cold as steel. "You were warned. You chose to ignore that warning. You chose to murder our people. What comes next is not war. War has rules. What comes next is consequence." For 6 months, humanity went completely silent. The hegemony thought they were hiding. They were wrong. At midnight, on the anniversary of New Helsinki, humanity struck. Hegemony stationed Veltrix 7, one of their largest military bases, defended by 50 warships, home to 20,000 soldiers, standing for 3,000 years, fell in 47 minutes. Across 47 star systems, the same scene repeated. Human ships appeared from nowhere, moving faster than anything the aliens had ever seen. Within 7 days, the hegemony's military power, built over 12,000 years, was shattered completely. War Admiral Torvex was captured, forced to his knees. Captain Sarah Webb, whose father had begged for mercy at New Helsinki, looked into his eyes and said, "You told us we would burn. You were right. 2 million of us burned while you smiled. Now you will answer for what you've done." When humanity arrived at the Galactic Council, every alien expected terms of surrender, slavery, destruction, revenge. Instead, Admiral Chen Wei pulled out the same treaty Elena Vasquez had offered 4 years earlier. The same words, the same terms. Complete freedom, equal standing, mutual respect, fair trade. "You could rule us all," a young alien diplomat said. "You have the power. Why don't you?" Chen Wei's answer was simple. "Because we remember what it feels like to watch our children die while more powerful beings laugh." The hegemony wanted to teach us a lesson at New Helsinki. They did. They taught us that power without compassion is meaningless. Those 2 million people did not die so we could become monsters. They died because they wanted to live in peace. So we will honor their memory by being what they wanted us to be. We will be friends to those who want friendship. We will protect those who cannot protect themselves. But we will never forget. And we will never allow what happened at New Helsinki to happen again to anyone. The galaxy had a choice: sign the treaty as equals or refuse and go separate ways. One by one, every species signed. Not because they feared humanity's weapons, because they finally understood something the hegemony never did. True strength is not in conquest. True strength is choosing peace when you have the power to destroy everything. The empire that ruled for 12,000 years fell in 7 days, not to weapons, not to violence, but to a species that refused to kneel, refused to become monsters, and chose forgiveness over revenge. Humanity didn't want the galaxy's fear. They wanted friendship. They wanted to build something better. They wanted to prove the universe didn't have to be cruel. And somewhere in the stars, in the empty place where New Helsinki used to be, 2 million spirits finally found rest. Their sacrifice had changed everything. Their memory would never be forgotten. We do not want your fear. We want your friendship.